Let's now continue with the final and most intense phase of India's freedom struggle, from 1930 to 1947. The year was 1930. The Indian National Congress had declared Purna Swaraj, complete independence, as its goal. Now it was time to act. Mahatma Gandhi decided to challenge the British monopoly on salt. Salt, a simple necessity, was heavily taxed by the British. So Gandhi launched the Salt Satyagraha. On 12th March 1930, he began the Dandi March, walking 240 kilometers from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, along with 78 followers. On 6th April, he picked up a handful of salt from the seashore, breaking the law. This act shook the empire. People across India joined the civil disobedience movement. They refused to pay taxes, boycotted British goods, and courted arrest. The British responded with brutality. Over 60,000 people, including Gandhi, were arrested. But the movement had awakened the masses. In 1931, Gandhi signed the Gandhi-Irwin Pact and agreed to attend the Second Roundtable Conference in London. But nothing came of it. Gandhi returned disappointed and the movement was resumed, only to be brutally crushed again. Then came the Government of India Act 1935, a half-hearted attempt at reforms. It gave some provincial autonomy but kept central power with the British. In 1939, World War II began. The British dragged India into the war without consulting Indian leaders. This angered Congress. In protest, they resigned from all provincial ministries. But the Muslim League under Muhammad Ali Jinnah stayed out of the protest and began pushing the idea of a separate Muslim state. In 1942, Gandhi gave the final, most powerful call, Quit India. The Quit India movement was launched on 8th August 1942 in Bombay. Gandhi said, "Do or die." The British struck back immediately. Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, all top leaders were arrested. But people rose in revolt across India. Students, workers, peasants, even children. Rail lines were cut, government buildings burned. It was spontaneous, leaderless, but powerful. Meanwhile, Subhash Chandra Bose, who had left India, was building his own path to freedom. He formed the Indian National Army, INA, with the slogan, "Give me blood and I shall give you freedom." With Japanese support, Bose's INA entered India through the northeast and captured parts of Manipur and Nagaland. But after defeats in Imphal and Kohima, the INA collapsed. Bose died in a plane crash in 1945. But his spirit lit a fire. In 1945, World War II ended. Britain was weak, tired, and in debt. In India, a new storm was brewing. The INA trials at Red Fort. The British tried INA officers hoping to punish them, but people across India, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, united in their support. Protests broke out. Even the British army saw unrest in its ranks. By now, it was clear. The British could no longer hold India. In 1946, the British sent the cabinet mission to negotiate with Indian leaders. But tensions were rising. The Muslim League now demanded Pakistan, a separate nation. Communal riots broke out, especially in Calcutta, Noakhali, and Bihar. Thousands died in the violence. In 1947, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee announced that India would be given independence by June 1948. But the situation was rapidly deteriorating. So the new Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, advanced the date. The decision was made to divide the country into India and Pakistan. On 15th August 1947, India became free. Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister, delivered the famous speech. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. But the joy of freedom came with sorrow. The partition led to massive violence. Hindus and Sikhs in Pakistan, Muslims in India, were uprooted. Nearly 1 million people died and millions were displaced. And just 5 months later, on 30th January 1948, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu extremist. The nation mourned the death of the father of the nation. But India had begun a new journey as a sovereign democratic republic. And with that, we reached the end of an era. The journey of modern Indian history from the arrival of the Europeans in 1498 to the dawn of independence in 1947. For centuries, India stood witness to the rise and fall of empires, to exploitation and resistance, to bloodshed and hope. But through every battle fought, every voice raised, and every martyr remembered, one dream remained alive: the dream of freedom. At Inside Daily, we don't just tell you dates and events. We bring to life the spirit of history. Because this story isn't just about the past. It's the reason we stand free today. So let's never forget that the India we live in was carved through the courage of millions. Their struggles were real, their sacrifices immeasurable, and their vision timeless. Thank you for joining us on this powerful journey through time. This is Insight Daily, where history meets clarity every single day.